On this vote, the yeas are 217, the nays are 210. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
We're back with more on tonight's breaking news. The Republican House just voted to gut $39 billion from our food stamp program over the next 10 years. If it became law, it would cause 4 million Americans to lose benefits next year. In the richest country in the world, this is the definition of shameful. Joining me now is Senator Bernie Sanders, independent from Vermont. Senator, what happens next? I mean, how do we stop these horrible cuts from going into effect?
Well, we do what the American people want us to do, Al. What the Republicans are doing is fighting for tax breaks for billionaires, for the 1 out of 4 corporations in America that pays nothing in taxes, and they're going to war against working families, against kids, against the elderly and the children. And our job has got to be to expose what right-wing extremism is, which 85% of the American people disagree with, and put these people on the defensive. You are right. At a time when the richest people in this country are becoming richer and the middle class is disappearing, it is beyond shameful to cut food programs, nutrition programs for people in need, to allow people in this country to go hungry, to pass
it is shameful.
It is absolutely shameful.
But now it goes to the Senate, to you and your colleagues. The Senate is not going to let them get away with this, is it? Are they?
Not if I have anything to say about it, no. The issue is, right now, is to protect the most vulnerable people in this country, and at the same time to bring in more revenue from the 1 out of 4 corporations that doesn't pay a nickel in taxes, and from the wealthiest people in this country. But in the United States of America, we cannot go to war against people who are struggling to keep their heads above water.
Now listen to some of the ways the right justified these cuts in the fight today, or the debate in the House over this. I want you to hear some of the debate and the arguments they raised.
Republicans aren't trying to take food out of babies' mouths or make our seniors go hungry. Don't believe the scare tactics from my colleagues who oppose the bill. This is a common sense reform that cuts waste, fraud, and abuse, leaving more money for the Americans who truly need help in time of need.
It doesn't cut people off from food stamps. What it does is simply ask that they either work, look for work, or train for work while they're receiving those benefits.
You have to make sure that you're a part of trying to go and better your life, not using the food stamp program as an alternative to the hard work which will help you and perhaps your family.
I mean, it's outrageous. They want to act like they're doing the best thing for people who are trying to make ends meet. 58% of them in households where people can work, they're working. There are people that just cannot make ends meet, most of them seniors and children, and they sit there and admonish them like they're just receiving food stamps, which is barely enough for anyone to even survive on when you go on that kind of food diet as some members of Congress have. They act like people are doing this out of some irresponsibility rather than responding to their circumstances.
Look, Alice, you've mentioned 85% of the people on food stamps are children, they're parents, they're people with disabilities, they are senior citizens. And when these guys say that they're not cutting nutrition programs for seniors, that's just an absolute lie. As a result of sequestration, for example, one of the cuts has been that the Meals on Wheels program, you know what that is? That's the program that delivers food to the most vulnerable people in America. Thousands of those people are off the program. We continue sequestration, more will be. Look, what this is about is right-wing extremism. And their job is to protect the wealthy and the powerful at the expense of working families and low-income people. And the greed and the shameful actions that they are proposing are unacceptable to the American people. We have got to rally the American people and come up with a very, very different set of positions.
No doubt about it. And Senator Bernie Sanders, we will be watching this as this heads to the Senate, to you and your colleagues. Senator Sanders, thank you for your time tonight.
My pleasure.
Coming up, one day ahead of Speaker